Um, hey, it's Audra, and I'm here with,
Hi, I'm Brooke.
and we're just going to talk today about getting into gravel riding and just wanted to highlight some riders that are local here in Flagstaff just to get everybody super motivated into riding gravel. So, Brooke, tell us, got your name and where do you live?
I live in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Sweet. And what do you do for a living when you're not riding bikes?
When I'm not riding bikes, I advocate for victims of crime.
Awesome. Yeah, we were having a really cool discussion just a minute ago about Brooke was just in DC and we were talking about having to address members of Congress. So it's
Yes.
got to be less stressful than gravel riding, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Cool, cool. We got somebody loading up the trailer over here.
Yeah, we got noble bread in tow.
Sweet. Okay. So just going to ask you a couple questions and give us the gouge. So what inspired you to try gravel riding? Okay. So what inspired you to try gravel riding?
So I'd actually never heard of gravel riding.
Okay.
I was at Pay and Take, and it happened to be First Friday in May.
Okay.
And Flagstaff Lady Shredders was there.
Okay. Pay and Take is a bar.
Pay and Take is a bar.
Okay.
Yep. First Friday is.
She's at a bar.
I was at a bar. Dad, stop listening. So Flagstaff Lady Shredders was there, and my girlfriend Ross and I went up and started chatting with I don't remember her name, but the gal who was repping Flagstaff Lady Shredders, and we both were like, man, we'd really love to get into mountain biking. And so I, as I want to do, started just following everything on Instagram and came across the gravel race in October.
Oh, sweet.
And so and then one thing led to another, and I just kept following people, and I followed Audra, not really knowing who she was. And then I saw an advertisement for the ladies gravel camp, which was like 2 weeks later. And so I called Audra and was like, hi, I'm a baby mountain biker and I don't even have a bike yet, but I want to do this thing. Like, is this crazy? And Audra was like, please join us. That's this lady. And Audra was so kind and welcoming, and I ended up doing the ladies gravel camp, which was, it should have been intimidating, but it wasn't, because everybody was just so incredibly kind and lovely and welcoming.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is my new favorite thing.
It's my new favorite thing. Got it.
Yeah.
It is pretty awesome. And what was your very first gravel ride?
My first gravel ride was the gravel camp.
Was it that Friday night?
It was that Friday night. We did 14 miles and I was dying. And I was in the back the entire time, which is fine.
Yep.
But it was just a blast. And then we went to your house and barbecued, and actually the husbands made us dinner, which is highly recommend having husbands cook.
Yes. Makes it much better.
Yeah, that was my first ride.
Yeah, that was a tough 14 miles though. I think it was 14 miles and like 1,300 feet of climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, up Mars Hill. So it was a tough ride. It wasn't just 14 miles flat.
Yeah, it was a little steep.
To give you some credit. Yeah. It wasn't just like a 14 mile around the track. It was a tough climb.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. And then your first gravel bike was was like a typical mountain bike, right?
Yeah.
Like you showed up to the group ride and you're like, look at my new gravel bike. And I was like, ooh, that's a mountain bike. Yeah. Not that it's bad.
No, it was,
it was a mountain bike.
It was a mountain bike. I got a mountain bike, and it was harder than it should have been.
You're like, these fat tires are really tough. Right.
I think at one point I felt so validated because I think it was our Sunday ride, Kyle and Paul. Yeah. Kyle and Paul. Why did that sound so weird to me? Edit that out, please.
Because they call themselves KP.
KP hung back with me, and I felt so validated when Kyle was like, you're working like 30% harder than everyone else. And I was like, oh.
Right. You're like, you're upright. You're so like in the wind, like a sail upright on your mountain bike. Yeah. Yeah. It's just good training. And in Flagstaff, I feel like a mountain bike is a pretty valid choice for gravel riding, because we do have some chunky, until you get used to riding on chunky stuff and know how your bike kind of handles. Like, it's a good option.
Yeah. Cool.
But what did you just get?
I just got totally hooked up by Flag Bike Rev, and I got a Giant Revolt gravel bike.
Ooh. So we have 2 bikes now. You're now in it.
I'm in it. There's no going back.
You're now in it. When you're like, what bike shall I ride today? Like, you're an official biker, right? You have all these bikes to choose from.
Gosh, let me put it that way.
Yeah, right, exactly. All right, so you got a new gravel bike and you've taken it out on a spin. How was that?
That was interesting. I tried. So I technically live in Belmont, which is about a little unincorporated community about 10 miles west of Flagstaff, and I have been trying to figure out how to get from Belmont to Flagstaff on a bike.
Yeah.
And so I was using Google Maps, which we've identified was a mistake.
Right. Big mistake.
The forest roads weren't really forest roads. They weren't really passable.
Yeah.
But I got it all. I got from Belmont to A1 Woody Mountain Road, which was zigzaggy. So it was about 11 miles.
Yeah.
And then I called it quits.
And what, just out of curiosity, this has nothing to do with this little interview talk. What PSI did you have in your tires?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think 40.
Oh, yeah.
Is that too much?
Way too much.
Okay.
We need to go down to 30 and just see how they feel.
Okay.
And are they tubeless?
Yes, they are tubeless.
Okay. When's the last time sealant was put in there?
So I bought the bike last week and it was fully like fitted and
so they like hooked it up with everything
yeah.
what you needed. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Good to know, because I don't want you to get like a burr in your tire and then like it like bleed out because there's no
that would be bad
sealant in there. Okay. Good. Sometimes they think there's sealant in there and there's not, so that's good. Yeah, but 30 psi definitely.
Okay.
Is it makes it like more cushy, right? Like it's like softer.
Yeah,
so the softer the tires.
That makes sense. It was a rigid ride for sure.
Yeah. So like, and then you should be able to like, the tires should like meld a little bit to like the rocks so that the rocks don't get thrown out everywhere too, and it just makes it more comfortable.
Got it.
And you'll find like a PSI that you like, and that will change versus like hard packed gravel versus like chunky gravel, and you'll kind of like, oh, I really like 25 PSI. I really like 32.
Okay.
You wouldn't think that 2 PSI makes a difference, but it does. So you got to keep playing with it, and then maybe write it down somewhere and be like, oh, this felt really good today. That was 30 PSI or whatever. Yeah. Cool. So you know. Cool. Okay. So is there any gear that you absolutely love that you wish you knew about sooner, or is there like new gear that you're testing out that you're like, this is amazing for gravel riders?
Oh, that's such a good question. I feel like I'm still brand new, so I don't know that I'm ready to make recommendations yet.
Okay. You're using Camelback, right? Like a hydration pack.
Yep. I've got, you know what I've got actually, what's really cool is I have Osprey bags. And so they have the tube, it's just like a little click to connect. And so I've got 2 50-ounce packs. And so when I run out of one, I can just switch the tube to the hose to the other one.
And you're carrying both of those?
I'm carrying both of those.
Whew.
I'm drinking 100 ounces of water.
No, that's really...
I'm a thirsty girl.
It's really good. I was just thinking weight.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's like weighted training.
Yeah.
Right. So like, yeah, so when you go out and race, you can just carry bottles and fill them at the aid station. You'd be like, I'm so light. I'm not carrying 100 ounces of water.
Side note, my girlfriend Emily and I hiked Eldon a couple weeks ago, and I had the 2 50 ounces, and then I also had 2 cans of High Noons that I surprised her with at the time.
Of course.
And she had pulled them out, and she was like, "You've been hiking with all of this weight this whole time." And I was like, "Yeah, this was really heavy, actually."
Like, this is the weighted height training.
Just
fine.
Just dying on Eldon. 2,300 feet of elevation.
It's worth it for the High Noons.
Yeah, it's worth it.
That was worth it. Yeah,
it was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool. Let's see. What has been the biggest challenge thus far?
Biggest challenge, I think, has been just the hills. I'm still it's still like I'm intimidated by and a little scared of. I'm scared of crashing, which I know is going to happen eventually, but trying to hold that off. But yeah, just figuring out the gears and the hills and like when to really like ramp up pedaling and shifting. I think I was like dying on Schultz Pass, and you were like, why are you in this gear? Like, you're just making this harder.
That's true.
It's like, shift up. Oh, okay.
That was true. You're like, oh, that's so much better.
oh, why am I 5 miles of uphill? Why am I making this harder on myself?
Yeah, you pay money for those gears. Use them.
Yeah.
Okay. That's and you're not clipping in yet, right?
I'm not clipping in yet.
Okay. And when you clip in, hills will become much easier because then you can use like your hamstrings and glutes and quads like in unison versus just like kind of mashing. So that will help. We'll get you on. That would be baby steps. You can go to a grass field. Yeah. Get you in clips. I put like a full bodysuit on.
Well, and you know, I'm very familiar with clipping on spin bikes.
Right.
But you can't really crash on them.
You're like, I unclip like a mother trucker on those spin bikes.
I'm real good at clipping on spin bikes.
I haven't crashed one time yet.
Not even once.
Awesome. Yeah, we need to do that at some point. Yeah, anytime soon. But like
maybe that's a goal before the race in October, though.
Oh yeah, by then for sure. But we definitely need to like get you in a grass field because if you fall over and it's like grass, and you're fine. Yeah. We can do that. No problem. Has there been like an oops moment or a funny moment, like when you're out riding on the trail or on the gravel road where you're just like, can't wait to tell somebody this story. This is pretty funny. Besides, you didn't use any gears for 5 miles of your climb. That was an oops.
That was a little bit of an oops. I'm trying to think.
You can say no.
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything.
Okay, that's okay. That's good. Okay. Okay, let's see. You have tubeless tires.
Got tubeless tires.
That was the next question I was going to ask you. You just upgraded, so that was the next question. We already covered that. You got a new gravel bike, which is much faster.
Yes.
Skinnier tires and better aerodynamic position.
Yeah.
For riding. Okay, so let's talk about this community because gravel riding, mountain biking community in Flagstaff is very collective. Everybody kind of works. It doesn't matter if you're fast or you're slow or you ride 100 miles or you ride 10 miles. Like everybody's just like, oh, cool, you have a bike. Like, and they don't even care if you like have the crappiest bike or you have like the most expensive bike.
Yeah.
Like you just ride a bike and that makes you cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so awesome about bike riding.
Yeah.
That's how I feel in Flagstaff. And I kind of feel like other ways, but especially in Flagstaff where everybody's just very collective and like, it's more important, like your personality and your like character and what you do versus like the kind of bike you have or the distance you go.
Yeah.
So that's why I love the riding community here. It's amazing. Like the Flagstaff Lady Shredders, like you never go to one of those rides and feel intimidated, right? You're just like, whether you're the slowest or the fastest, like you're out here riding a bike and you're a chicken. That's cool.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty cool. So what has the gravel community how have they welcomed you in?
So like I said, my first experience with gravel riding was the ladies gravel camp, and that happened to be my birthday weekend, which just made it like
I forgot.
all the more special. And then you know what's so funny is several people, including Cherie, said, I think it's so cool that you're out here. I wouldn't have had the guts to do this when I was brand new. And that was so kind, but then like my imposter syndrome was like, am I a total dumbass for doing this right now? Like, is this the dumbest thing I've ever done? But like, it was just the most inclusive and welcoming and special community. And I just felt like after ride 1 on Friday night and just hanging out at your backyard, like it was just like instant friends. I felt so welcomed, so just like come as you are, meet you where you're at. It's just such a lovely community, and it was such a special way to spend my birthday weekend and just like laughing. And I mean, we had moments where we were like crying laughing, like it was, and just the goofiest people, like in the best possible way. Like it was just like we had the silliest conversations. Like it got crass at moments. It was like,
we were gonna, what was the Ass Master? What was
no, it was oh no.
I'll edit it out.
It was what was it
Climax
called? It was
like it was like chamois cream.
The
hoo-hoo butter. Was it hoo-hoo butter or something? We were like, all these women were sitting around a fire in the backyard talking about chamois butter, and then all the funny names of chamois butter.
Right.
We're just like, and there's like back in the day, like there was a company called Ass Master, literally. This is called Ass Master. And then there's Hoo-Ha Glide.
Hoo-Ha Glide. There you go. Hoo-Ha Glide. Yeah.
And Jess was like, I'm gonna bring some Hoo-Ha Glide for everybody for tomorrow. And we were like, and then we were like, oh, is it gonna like, what's it gonna do? And then we just came up with another name that was like stimulating chamois cream so that you really enjoyed your bike ride versus just trying to make it less painful on your hoo-ha. And we were like, Climb Max.
Oh, that's a good one.
I know. Climb Max.
Yeah, no, I'm here for a good dirty pun.
we should do it.
And then we talked about
put it in a toothpaste tube
and I loved, I won't say her name, but I loved one of the gals saying that she appreciates the hoo-ha butter that's in a tube because at her house it's just in a can that she shares with her husband and teenage son.
Yep, right. You're like, what? No double dipping. No double dipping.
And then we talked about when you need to quickly transition from like post ride to like going out and being in public, and like you can't shower, so you do like pits, tits, and slits.
Yes, exactly.
We can edit all of this out.
No, this is the best tips ever. What was it again? Pits,
tits, and slits. These are the 3 prime areas.
White. We should know. Hold on. Now we have a chamois cream company. Yes.
Climax.
And then we have like a hygiene wipe company for women cyclists.
For your pits, tits, and slits.
It's copyrighted already. Can't use it.
Trademark Brooke and Audra.
It's done. It's done. Okay, sweet. I love that. Let's see. Let me ask you a few more questions. This is too good. So your gravel goal for the year, you signed up for Village.
Signed up for Village. Okay. So I'm riding the 30 miles.
Yep.
Which I have not yet done, actually. The most I've done so far is 22. So we'll get there. But actually, my dad and brother, who both live in California, have also signed up for the race. And so they are flying out and riding with me.
I love it. And they're doing the 30 as well?
They're doing the 30 as well.
Fun. Yeah. We should get, well, Charlotte's going to be racing, but that would have been fun. Next year. She said she'd come next year.
Oh.
Because this year she's racing 7.3 World Championships.
Oh, cool.
That same weekend, which, we can't have her miss that for a gravel ride.
For sure. We'll miss you, Charlie.
Yeah, exactly. She's coming like next year.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be that. And you're going to be doing some of our Sunday rides, right?
Sunday rides, got them all on the calendar. I think the next one's a week from yesterday.
Yep.
This upcoming Sunday.
Yep. So we're doing like a 25-mile route, and then we're going to do a 60-mile route, and we're just going to split people up. So we've got spicy group and not spicy group, so that'd be fun.
I'm not spicy yet.
You are spicy, but not maybe on a gravel bike. But other ways. Other ways spicy.
Fair.
Let's see. How has gravel riding changed how you think about fitness, adventures, or even yourself?
I think it's I think about longevity. Like being in I want to be in better shape for as long as I can, right? So just being able to, it's not about how many calories you burn or not about how much you weigh, but just being able, I want to be able to ride for 4 hours. I want to be able to just kick my own ass. And, I think about that in terms of I just turned 37. So that, just longevity of health.
Yeah. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Cause it's it's more motivating to be able to get your body in the position to be able to do whatever it is that you want to do.
Right.
My thing is I always want to be I want to be the yes person.
Yeah.
So somebody's like, do you want to climb the Grand or hike the Grand Canyon? Yes.
Yeah.
You don't have to give me 6 months to get ready. I'm ready.
Right.
Or do you want to go ride your bike to the Grand Canyon, or do you want to go do this gravel event or camp or whatever? And I'm just I can. Right. That's when I'm always ready. I just want to be always ready.
Yeah. It's about the ability. It's about just being able to move your body and doing hard things.
Yeah. And being tired after you do hard things.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite.
And being proud of yourself.
Yeah.
And it's so not about comparing yourself to others. It's we did the Saturday gravel ride. The rest of the group did the 45 miles around the peaks, which is amazing. And I knew that there was no way I was going to do that, which is totally fine, because it's not about what I can do versus what you can do, because we're just two different people in different places.
Yeah.
But I did 16 miles and kicked my own ass and loved it.
Exactly. And that to you was a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where you're at the moment. Whereas you might not be there in 6 months. You might be 80 miles might be a kick in the pants. Right. And I think that's super awesome that we all are where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and it's good. And it's not the stay in the lane mentality, but it's totally the acceptance of where we are, and that not one thing is better than the other.
Right.
Being able to go ride your bike 100 miles isn't cooler or better than being able to ride your bike 20 miles.
Right.
They're still cool. Both of them are very cool. It doesn't matter.
As an aside, that's why I love Strava, because all of the little PRs that it tells you, I don't need to be compared to anyone else out there, but for for me to finish a ride and say this is the steepest climb you've ever done, or this is the most elevation, or this was your longest ride, or you tackled this part faster than last time. Just those little PRs are so exciting.
Yeah, because you're just comparing yourself against yourself, right? Which is great.
I went a little bit farther than last time. I went a little bit faster than last time.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah,
I enjoy that with Strava too, for sure. And then what kind of terrain or ride are you excited or scared to try next?
I haven't done a group ride since gravel camp, and so I think getting out on the Thursday rides with the lady shredders, I think that's the next goal.
Okay. Well, I lead that ride, and it's very slow, and it's very chill, and it's very regroupish.
Love it.
We just talk. We just BS the whole time.
That's amazing. I didn't even realize you let it.
Yeah, it's my
perfect.
It's my ride.
Perfect.
But it's super fun. Yeah, and Maggie. Okay, so quick fire round. Whatever comes to your mind, just say it.
Okay.
You don't have to edit yourself. It's okay. Okay. So your post-ride snack of choice?
Uncrustables.
That was quick. Yep. Do you ever take them on a ride with you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, they get nice and warm while I'm riding.
Yeah, exactly. I used to love those when I was Ironman racing. They were great. Dream gravel ride location?
Honestly, we're living in it. It's Flagstaff in Belmont.
I know, it is beautiful. You're right.
We live like there's like we were just talking about this, but hundreds of unexplored miles.
Right. Yeah, we were just looking at a map, being like, "Where does that go? Where does that go?" Yeah.
How can I do this? Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Favorite ride playlist or podcast you listen to?
Blink 182.
Saw them in concert a long time ago. They're good. Would you rather climb it or descend it?
Oh, descend it all day. All day, every day.
Send it, Brooke. Send it, Brooke. Got it. What is one word to describe gravel riding so far?
Badass.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sweet. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
You're awesome. You're so awesome.
You are too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.